Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today's video is a brand new series that I'm going to do here on my channel. So if you guys really like this video, you guys have to do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, hit that subscribe. Always hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss a future one. But today is about polls that I put out on YouTube that have been answered by the community. We're going to go over them and provide some feedback. I have Nico with me today as my guest and maybe future co-host. Nico, man, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So today's video, some of the polls we put out is how are players using their event currency? Is Shang-Chi and Heroes for Hire ruining the war or just the game in general? Nick Fury's unlock requirements, and a personal one, should I change my channel name? So guys, if you're ready for all that and more, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Alright, before I show you the results of a poll that I put out in the community, Nico, how are you currently using your elementary particles that you're earning?
I thought that I would save them and see what the people say before making that decision.
Oh, so you haven't spent any yet currently?
Not yet.
Alright, well, then I guess I'll be the one that goes here. I find, and this was actually found out when I put out my poll, is that some people didn't realize that if you select the orbs section, you can actually use these credits to open up orbs that have ions. Now, I've gotten quite a few feedback, and I'll get into it when I give you guys the poll results. But personally, I've been using them to open up the T2 level 1 ion orbs because I find even when I do randomly get all the pieces I need to take a character to level 3 blue ISO, I tend to still not have enough ions. So I have to continue to crack orbs open just to get enough ions to take that character to level 3 blue ISO. So that's what I've been. I'm personally probably just going to stockpile these, but we've had some other arguments. So let's look at the poll results and maybe I'll talk about some of those arguments and maybe you can give your thoughts of what the player base is thinking. All right, so the poll I put up, elementary particles, where are you spending your currency? 58% of the people that replied says they are using it for their blue ion orb, same thing that I'm using it for, while another 34% behind is using it for blue ISO, which you get 2 for 300 credits. Most of the arguments that I've seen for other than doing the blue ion orb is just like, hey, I need this one. I can't seem to pull it from an orb. So I'm going to grab this while I have control over the piece that I'm getting. And that's kind of the feedback I got for people that didn't use it for the blue ions, which I find the better way to use it because to me, that's the bottleneck of the game. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that this is very accurate. This is a good use of the resources too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the green are they're farmable.
Yes.
Right? At the end of the day, they're easily farmable. While blue ions, a lot of the player base are doing... At our level, we're doing 1.1. We're worried about what's coming next, right? With the blue ion requirement. So this is basically what I figured was going to happen.
All right, fair enough. All right, so let's get into our next topic, and that is, do you feel Shang-Chi and Heroes for Hire are currently ruining the game and or war game mode? Overwhelmingly, 68% of the player base that answers, and almost 500 players, say yes. While 10% are still not sure if it is or it isn't, with only 22% saying no, it's fine. Before I get into some of the comments that I read on this one, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not surprised at all that 68% agree that it's ruining it.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it is.
Okay. And what's your takeaway of why it's not? Because I have a few other points I can bring out from the commenters, but I'd rather you give your thoughts before I start sharing some of theirs.
People are angry because like they don't have a counter for it. Like honestly, with the way that I look at this, I've been playing this game for a long time, and I remember when they put in Asgardians, and it was frustrating in the beginning how it was hard to counter them. Yeah. Right, and eventually, with the community did come up with counters. The majority of them were punch downs, but we figured it out. And then there was a red face Hydra, which felt impossible, and then they came out with the counter. The mercenaries, I remember screaming, using Inhumanes and different teams, and just getting wiped out even on punch downs. Yeah. But eventually there's a counter, and then we use the counter, and then we can win and we can move forward. And every single time that this happened, point that this happened, you get all these comments on the Reddits that mercenaries have ruined the game, Asgardians have ruined the game, and prior to this, people were complaining that the war was just a rush to full clear. And now that they've put a roadblock to stop those full clears from happening, people are freaking out. So whether it's the same people complaining on both points, it's hard to tell. But I do agree that it is frustrating, especially when you come across an 800k Heroes for Hire and you don't have any counters.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's ruining the game.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I'd go as strong as using the word ruining. I mean, this question I came up from a lot of Reddit posts that I was seeing about Shang-Chi and Heroes for Hire, and so one of the things that I don't like, and I probably would have more clicked yes here just for, and I don't really like agree with the strong language of ruining, but what I don't like, and I had a picture that I shared, and I wish I would have had it here on the slides for to share with the community, is when I take Secret Avengers, Kestrel, Surfer, 300k punch down to Heroes for Hire. All characters released this year, just recently, and they lose in a 300k punch down. To me, that screams like they are over power creeping the game. I can understand characters released last year not working, but characters released, like, it just seems the power creep is too jumped up too far where it's not reasonable. And I don't like when newer characters are so outmatched by that much. Like, 300k punch down, like, I would think newer characters could handle that. Like a 600 or 60k Colin Wing, Misty Knight, Shang-Chi can't take out my 120 to my 180, team, like, per character. It seems crazy. So that's where I kind of have strong feelings, like why it's frustrating going to Heroes for Hire. But I can understand the people that say no, they like the challenge, they need to figure it out. I wish I could break down this poll more about who answered what and where they're at in the game, because I'm pretty sure it would paint a better picture. But ultimately, this is a polarizing thing. A lot of people were really upset about Heroes for Hire and not enjoying the game because of it. That is clear and evident. No matter what the reason is, they're not enjoying it for some reason. Here, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to do a new segment, which I like to call Nico's War Fails of the Week. So if you guys don't know, Nico has a YouTube channel, and he also does a live on Twitch. And on his YouTube channel, he does war review. So I thought it'd be a cool thing just to take one attack that every week that he sees and just label it the fail of the week. And this week we have, well, I'll let you take it away. What do we have here, Nico?
A headache. When this was submitted to me, I blew up my mic laughing. There's so many different things wrong with this team, right? On offense. If you look on the right here, first off, there's no synergy at all.
Yeah.
So we suspected that what happened was that this person slapped together a team by just clicking like one character, and it kind of went down like that with TCP.
Okay.
Right? But he's got no ISO on his Black Bolt. For some reason, they're all G13, which, by the way, if you're a smaller player, don't be G13 in your characters. It's only a 2.5% increase in stats. Save the resources for something else. See, I'm just lost for words. I have this picture on my desktop, and I see it every day, and I still am flabbergasted every time I see it. And so this guy failed. And he figured, okay, well, I'll try again. And so then you see the next team that he slaps together, which has 4 characters without ISO, not even level 1 ISO, right? He put his legendary Yo-Yo with Striker, who isn't going to lose his half her efficiency because Invisible Woman is there. Why didn't he put Yo-Yo with Black Bolt in the first attack?
Yeah.
He might have won. Right? And his Phoenix didn't even go Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that's... yeah, something crazy there. So guys, that is Nico's War Fail of the Week. You guys can, if you guys want to check him out, the links to his channels will be down below in the description. And before we move on to our next poll, we have Nico's Win of the Week. Now, I did add this at the last minute. I figured since we're doing a Fail of the Week, let's do a Win of the Week. And I'm just using mine here personally for this thing, but for in the future, Nico will get to pick out his own win. We have, well... the number one thing I get asked on my Twitch streams is, what can I use against Doom Brotherhood 2.0, which is this Doom variant where you just replace, what character are they kicking out here? Pyro. They kick Pyro out, and you have Blob, Toad, Magneto, and then it's basically, it's a stall mechanic so Doom can ult. The best team that I have found, and I know there's another version of this that other people stand by, but this is the one I like the most, is X Factor, which you have to rank up for Adam Warlock, so you might as well get on that. And then with Squirrel Girl. And what I find with this team is that you start the match, You get blinded right away. Nothing you can do about it. Shatterstar will get his first turn. He'll miss, so make sure you use his basic. Squirrel Girl's second up. She clears everything, and then you're off to the races, just trying to destroy the team and get Doom down before he ults, which, even at a 200k punch down, I'm able to get Doom down before he ults. So, Nico, you have any comments on this one? I know you didn't submit this one yourself.
No, but I'm gonna actually be featuring this in my next video because it was a good attack. I saw a similar one to this last war, and I kind of chicken wussed out, and I wish I had just done it, seen this win here. Yeah. One thing I would like to add though is that instead of Squirrel Girl, you could use Rhino. Yeah. But I wouldn't suggest to build up Rhino. In this case, with Mr. Free to Play, he already had Squirrel Girl built up to a decent level, so he put her in, and she works very well. Rhino, his passive, when he gets blinded, he takes away 1 debuff from everybody, and if you use his special, he'll clear a debuff from the people right beside him, so that can help with the initial blinds and such. But yeah, otherwise, Squirrel Girl and Rhino, they both work really well.
All right. With that said, let's get back into our next poll question. And our next poll question is, with the announcement of Nick Fury needed for Omega Red, do you think the requirements for Nick Fury's unlock should be changed? I did miss an option here after I put the poll out and started getting some comments. I realized I missed an option. But let's go to the options here. The one who got the best one is, yes, the requirements need to be changed. The minion part, most likely the players feel if they drop the minion part, that's good enough. 24% say it's fine as is, and I'll get into the comments of some of those people. 9% says yes, completely farmable, where Nick Fury is no longer a legendary in the game. He gets moved to a farmable location and just gets legendary removed from him. And then I did the option of yes, but mine is not listed, so people can leave comments. But one of the comments that I got, and I realized it should have been an option, was they can keep the requirements the same, but they should really buff the Kree minions again, which should be an option that I had there, but I did not. So it's hard to know how that would have changed if that was an option. So obviously, everyone would be satisfied, or majority of players would be satisfied if they just dropped the minion requirement. The fine as is, some people's logic here was like, look, I had to do it, so why shouldn't everybody else? I don't know if that's fair, but that's how some people feel. And it's a quarter of players. It's a quarter of players at 450 votes. So, Nico, what are your thoughts here?
I have a lot of different thoughts on this. Okay. I think that the easiest and the best thing that they could do, and this would get them a lot of points with the community, is to remove the minion part. Like, when you talk about fairness, we can make a video going on about an hour about different perspectives on fairness, right? Yeah. And in the end, life isn't fair. So, like, cry me a river, right? I didn't have Symbiote Spider-Man when I did Dark Dimension 2. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right? So it's fine as is. Well, context is everything, right? When Kree were first the requirement, they were a terrible team. Yeah. And we were pretty upset about it, especially because there was no warning. They gave them a minor rework, which made them usable, but not anything that you should really be investing in, right? Yeah. So, but at least it was another Blitz team, right? And I remember, like, I'm dating myself here, but I remember like using them as backup teams on different rates before, right? Yeah. But now they're just so power crept that you can't get any use out of any of those minions like that, right? Like, players pull a 7R Reaper and we cringe. Yeah. Right. So no, I don't think that's fine as it is. I think that they should remove the minion part, considering how so many but see, this is intentional on their part because they know that every new player is just skipping Fury. What's the point, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, what's the point? I tell players to skip Fury. We said that last video. Yeah. So I mean, I think one of the things that I guess I would like to say to the players that said no, it's fine as is at Fury at this point should be considered a catch-up mechanic, right? He's a catch-up mechanic. This game, I could say we went through, we had to grind through Gear 13, we had to grind through Gear 14, we're grinding through Gear 15, and now we're gonna have to go grind through Gear 16. The players coming in now, most likely, if they do make orange uniques, the 13's more accessible after teal gears in the game, right? They're gonna be able to go straight through that stuff and level up. They get more gold than we used to get, they get more training materials to get, they get more orbs than we used to get, like, that's all part of the catch-up mechanic of the game. So I would argue that at this point, Fury should be treated like a catch-up mechanic, and the Krees
minions as themselves should no longer be good enough for that type of character unlock, because he's not worth building 5 trash characters unlock. Just not worth it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's probably it. That's probably my argument. Hopefully I changed some minds out there. If I didn't, that's fine. It's part of the polls, right? So everyone can have their own opinion. All right, so let's get into what is going to be our final question on the poll. This is one that said, been in the back of my mind for quite some time. I'm going to read the full story before we start talking about it. So, as many of you guys know, after 2 full years of playing Marvel Strike Force as a 100% free-to-play player and conquering all content in the game, I switched to spending on select Battle Pass, Strike Pass offers, and buying one offer of all new release characters. Because of this, I've received quite a few comments about wanting me to change my channel name. Free to play is my origin story. I hate to lose it, but like most Marvel characters, sometimes you have to evolve. Would you like me to change my channel name since I am no longer free to play player? And I'm gonna let you go on this one. I do have my own thoughts, but I kind of want to go last since this is about me. It got 636 votes, the most. I mean, it's also been up the longest out of all the polls I've done this week, and it's 27% yes, 30% no, and 43% like I'm assuming I don't care is either one, they don't watch me anyways, or they could care less which one I choose. They're still going to follow me. That's kind of like either or bucket there.
Probably the latter right there.
Yeah. So let's try to be nice to the people that said yes, because I know sometimes the people who have been following me have some strong opinions. So let's try to be nice to those people. But I mean, what are your thoughts here? As somebody who's been with me since I pretty much started this game, like you've seen my growth and development over almost 3 years. We're getting close to 3 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
What's your takeaways here?
Well, when you first said that you wanted to change your name, the first thing I thought is, oh no, I own 2 of your shirts. Like, but it's an excuse to buy a third one, right? But yeah. I honestly thought that, and this happens in everything in life, right? I thought that the majority of the people were going to say yes. When I saw this poll, I thought, okay, this is it. This is the day that he changes it. And then I voted, and I saw the minority said yes, and I was like, what? Like, I swear every video somebody has to say you're no longer free to play, change your name, kind of aggressively, right? And so I get what you were saying about trying not to offend your followers. I know that with free to play, a lot of players view it as like a badge of honor, like that they've been able to accomplish this much without spending, while other people look at them like, oh, they're like vegans, right? Nobody asked and they have to tell us, right? So in consideration to those free-to-play players, you can understand why they take offense to you using that name when that's not you, right? Yeah. But I read some of your comments, and people were making things like, you still give lots of free-to-play advice on what to do, right? And it is your origin story. I feel like if you had more yeses, I would agree to go with the people. But considering it's the smallest amount there, then I think the people spoke. And this looks like a Canadian election, by the way. 43, you're like, I don't care. Like, don't vote. Wonder why. No, sorry. No, I think that you're fine as you are. Then if the minority of the people are the ones saying yes, well, sorry, guys, right? Yeah. Call him Mr. Free to Pay. Maybe you'll feel better.
Yeah. So I mean, I already have pretty much my decision made up coming into this video today with you. And while this poll, it looks like I've alienated people. Like, my name has alienated people to the point where I don't know, like, my goal as a content creator and as a person, as part of this community, is to be as helpful as possible. And I don't know if I'm being helpful if people are just tuning away from my content because of my name. And I've had people comment some of the, like, I hate to call it stupid, like just stupid stuff, but some of the like stuff like they get from somewhere else and they comment, and it's like, dude, I don't know who you're watching, but you really need to stop because you're getting some really bad advice. And I don't know, like, I'm at the point where 27% out of 637 votes, that's over 100 people that took this poll, said yes, and then so I guess to say with that, I mean, to try to like move at this point, I feel like I have to move away from the channel name, because it's a battle that I'm always going to alienate people. It's a thing that I'm going to constantly have to explain. I constantly have to defend. The OG people that have been with me from the start. I think that they'll always see me as Mr. Free to Play, or, you know, at least they'll have a story. So if somebody comes along later and like, oh man, I really like this guy, you know, and they're like, Herman, let me tell you their story. And, you know, and I think I have a very fascinating story, not only in game, but out of the game too. You know, based on, you know, things that have happened in my life and the reason why I'm playing this game, the reason why I'm a content creator. And it's at the point where like, if there's a hill I'm gonna fight for and die on, it's not gonna be this one. So I honestly, going after this poll came out and I started seeing the results, and I seen like there's over 100 people, and I think I'm going to be changing the name. When the name is going to change, I can't know. It may be as early as this time next week. It may take a little longer. I may change the name before I have my artwork done, so it's possible I could have a name change but still have the Mr. Free to Play logo, and I think that might be helpful to the people to transition. But I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, guys, those of you guys watching, that you guys supported me no matter what my name is or anything, I 100% appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't even speak the words on it, but yeah, I come to the conclusion that it's time to evolve. You know, and hopefully, you know, my content's not going to change. Free to play advice not going to change. My content, I am moving already towards a more community friendly content, and I've noticed there's some gaps in information going to the players because of people leaving this game, that I'm hoping to go in and fill. That takes some time, that takes some work, that takes some effort. But I am looking at what the player base is missing and trying to fill those holes. As where everyone else just wants to complain about the game, good for you guys. Keep up complaining. I'm going to try to help. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So Nico, anything you want to say after hearing all that?
Yeah, your new name is it going to be Sons of Nico?
No, it will not. I don't want to say what the name is yet, because I need to make sure that the name is available, or whatever name I choose, it's available. So as soon as I have something picked, or basically my channel name, you guys are going to see the channel name change before I'm able to tell you what it's changing to, because the only way for me to find out if something's available is to actually try to type it in. So, so unfortunately, like I said, that's the way it's all going to work out. But with all that said, guys, that is our community poll for this week. There'll be more on YouTube. So like I said, if you're subscribed to me, you should be seeing them. Please, if you want to give some feedback to be featured here, you know, by all means, leave your vote, leave a comment if you choose to do so, and I'll make sure it gets featured in the next poll that I do with hopefully Nico. So Nico, did you have a good time doing this?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I just wanted to, self-plug myself and elaborate a little bit there. With the war review, I take great attacks, I take really bad attacks, and I take defenses, and we rip them apart and we try to learn from them. Yeah. Right? We try to laugh while we're doing it. Yeah. And on my stream, I play the game and I do a lot of blitz. I'm a very good blitzer. And I like to talk about myself. Anyone who's stopped by my channel who knows that I have stories, and they come out as we play. So definitely would like to see you there again, and definitely am grateful that you had me here, Mr. Free to Play. I hope I can be here again too one day.
All right, cool. Thanks, Nico. So I opened this up with my outro of telling you guys to like, subscribe. So I guess I'm gonna finish this with a new intro, maybe a new intro. We'll see how you guys like it. Hi guys, welcome back for another one. I am no longer Mr. Free to Play, but I am still the best damn free-to-play person on this planet to give you guys advice, tips, tricks, and other things. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.